All right, traders, George here, and time for a look at gold using our multi-fib model for MetaStock. This is a continuation video. I did a video about 5 weeks ago. Now I'm going to go through the exact same candidates, show you what's happened since. I want you to think about this as we go through these videos. Visual evidence, time, and relentless pursuit, okay? That's what makes things happen in the world of trading, at least the way we want them to happen. And that's where a lot of you are moving towards. So with that in mind, let's get into it. This is the gold futures now on April contract. Where we were the last video, 12.52 and long. We've gone up $93 since then, and that's about a 7.4% gain. GLD tracking it lockstep. We're now at 1333s. In terms of the trade strategy now, two things. One, we've got a counter trend arrow, turning point. We've got black fib candles. We've got a lower high, two of them, on the RM minor. So this is obviously stalling out a bit here, and you can see we're at the top black extremity fib line here as well. So there's 4 strengths of signal that say, hey, we're getting a little bit tired after this nice rally here. A response point to either take a little off the table or to move stops up. Secondary, if we pull back into the red or blue fibs, these provide excellent buy points here on the heels of this bullish impulse. So looking essentially at about 1300 and 1280, a little bit north of 1280 here for buy points. The third thing is we stabilize here and we start to move up. And adding on right here in the mid 1330s here, watch for a white candle up here and watch for an RM minor bar to print a higher white bar than the previous one as 2 strengths of signal to be long in this zone. To the left, we want to remember that we still have 1356 that we haven't tagged, and that would be the first initial target here on the way up. But really, we start trading over 1356s, and it opens up a much bigger run potential for gold, with the top end being 1430, the lower end being 1390, okay? So that's basically the deal with gold. It's looking pretty good here, a good breakout. Any closes below 1267 would be extremely bearish. So on a pullback below the red fib, you move into the low 1280s. That's a real tender spot to watch if price breaks down more there. If it breaks down more there, that would be very negative. And you'll hear that in the live room as things unfold. But there's a look at the gold futures moving well in favor. Multi-fib model making it real easy to see. But let's see what that's also done in terms of movement in the gold stocks. Same order from the first video. Let's go to Freeport. We were trading at 36.19s, okay? I was looking at 35.10, which was a break of this green fib here as a sign of further downside. After breaching 35.10s, we got down to 30.51. We went down $4.58. That's a 13% drop. So if you were looking to go long, waiting for a signal to get you there would have kept you from buying out of whatever, emotion or the wrong idea of fundamentals and having price just go wildly against you. If you were looking to go short, you got a great strength of signal here that moved you in favor well. And if you had been long earlier, you got further strength that things were breaking down and a chance to book open position profit from an earlier entry point. Where it is right now, it's not looking so good, folks. We've got resistance here. It was support here. We made new relative highs after making a higher low. Then we made a lower high and a lower low. Now we have resistance where we've had support. Freeport is looking pretty weak here. Follow through RM minor, lower bars here, a reversion back to black candles here, just taking out new relative lows here. It's really got more downside written all over it. What would change that is a simple visual. Price closing over the big Mo is the first thing you want to see. You want to see white candles, and you want to see 2 consecutive RM minor white bars close over that center line. Until that time, it's extremely aggressive going along Freeport despite the dividend. So whether you were long earlier, whether you wanted to be long at the time of the last video, or whether you were looking to be short, that signal generation did a huge service for you. So there's another example of visual evidence, time, and relentless pursuit having you in a better spot than not doing that. BHP was set to go into bull mode, and it didn't. It was at 67.05s, and it just needed to close over the big Mo. It couldn't do that. It actually went down into the 63s and then finally closed over the big Mo, and then gave a chance to get long at a lower spot, 65.89s there. It went up to 71.13. So it went up over $5 in favor, almost 8%. Just like gold, it's put in a turning point and then black candles and lower highs on the RM minor. This one actually driving down a bit more, but doing the same exhaustion signal as it's moved up. So some nice gains there. Take the scalper off the table as it pulls back. Another chance to get long just at about 68 or so. And if it continues up, watch for a higher RM minor bar, a white candle, and then of course anything that breaks to a new relative high, further strength of signal there. And if this thing can start trading above the recent highs here, it wouldn't take much to take these guys out, and then this is really set to pop to the upside. So patience, great new long entry, and now a chance to book some good scalp profits there. Look for a new add-on, look for a breakout continuation. And of course anything trading below the big Mo would be very bearish for BHP. Here's Goldcorp, really on fire here. This is probably the best performer of the lot. This was at 23.17s at the time of the last video. What I mentioned was to look for an RM minor follow through, and that happened right here. So chance to be long, and that came at the 23.54 price mark. We got as high as 28.13. So this thing's gone up 4.59, almost 20% there, 19.5%. And again, turning point goes to black candles, goes to lower highs on RM minor, cause to take a little off the table or push stops up aggressively there. Pullbacks to the blue and red look to be a buyer in the 25 to 26 camp, and watch for any closes below the big Mo as being a real negative sign. This has really gotten a good start here, and well, there you have it. And look at continuations would look the same way. White, new structure high, and an RM higher bar printing there, and then really retesting is the main goal of this on a continuation, and we'll leave it there. Here's Yamana Gold. This was at 961. We needed to see it cross 970, so chance to be long at 971s. It faded a bit and gave a new add-on signal on the bounce off of red there at 889s. It's gone as high as 1072. So the initial entry point here going up over 10%, the add-on here going up over 20.5%. And it's currently at 10.04s right now. This one not giving a counter trend arrow, but showing black bars and lower highs on the RM minor. It's pulling back to the red fib for a potential fib bounce buy point here, and that would come in right about 971, pretty much where the initial entry was there. And then remember, continuations where it doesn't pull back any further than where it is now, watch for a white candle, higher RM minor bar, and then of course passing 1072, final strength of signal there. You got three things to look for if it just keeps going up. And if it does do that, then retesting this zone here in the upper 11s is the main goal for Yamana. So another one doing some heavy lifting for us. And the opposite of heavy lifting, heavy dropping. This is Newmont, and it was at 24.55 when I did the video. I mentioned it really needed to get over 2670 to be considered a long candidate because of its particular development here. It didn't take long at all. It broke below 2407s and dropped quite a bit. It got down to 2078. So from that little swing low that it put in right here, it dropped another 13.7%. It's actually bounced since then, but it's essentially making new lows and testing prior support as resistance on the way down. This is still looking very, very bearish here. This one has the disadvantage of just not making some higher highs and then pulling back, like Goldcorp or any of these other ones that are doing better, like BHP, etc. So this one is now at 23.26. It has crossed the big Mo, and it's put in a consecutive, 3 consecutive white bars here, and then tried to go for another one after it paused, but it's put in several RM minor black bars here. So below 22, there's a very good shot that this will retest the lows, and then below that it's into it's into outer space or subterranean space there. To see this thing stabilize and show some strength, it still needs to get over 2670. That's the problem with these kinds of bear continuation patterns if you're looking to be a buyer. The real power that you can take out of this is that gold has gone up pretty well. It's crossed some key areas and proved itself out. There's other gold stocks that have done well and have also proved themselves out over key points. This has not done that at all, and in fact it's shown more weakness since. And it really goes to picking your candidates based on what you see, not what you feel, think, or hear. It's all about visual evidence, not auditory or emotional or what your take on fundamentals would be. If you follow that process, you save yourself a lot of headaches staying away from Newmont. So however you want to slice that, if you were looking to go long and you were patient and you didn't see the signal, or if you happen to be long earlier and you noticed from this video two of the real key things to watch. In fact, I'm going to open this up for you guys real quick here. The bottom line is we did make a little relative high since that video, but we pulled back. We put in a higher low, then we put in a lower high. The RM minor, we had 2 consecutive white bars, then we got a black, then we got a white, so things started to chop up there. As soon as we took out that swing low at 2408, it was game over, and down we go. New structure low, and now we're having a hard time getting over the high that we just made up here. So that's the nature of a bear continuation pattern. Silver Wheaton was at 22.37. Looking for a break over 23s to get long, 23.01s. We went up to 26.34, $3.33 maximum favorable excursion. That's over 14% in favor. Turning point, black candles, RM minor making lower lows. Chance to take a little off the table, push stops up. But notice what's just happened as of Friday. We got a higher close on the RM minor there. So if this low here holds, watch for a break to new highs here, and then a trip to finally take out this $29 price point in Silver Wheaton. On any pullbacks, watch for a buy opportunity in the red and blue fib zones here, essentially mid 23s to lower 24s. Anything below the big Mo would be very negative, obviously. So Silver Wheaton also doing some heavy lifting there. So there you have some real quick and rapid evidence of the same visuals that I showed you just 5 weeks ago. Great if-then story played out, and some real good profit potential there for all of you that followed those signals. That'll do it for now. We'll see you guys back in the live room.